The St. Lucia government's plan to ban corporal punishment comes under fire. And in sport, a cricket West Indies presidential hopeful claims the body has lost focus. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, March 7th, 2019. I'll be back with the details after the break.
The Barbados Bay Jetty also offers expansive views, but more importantly, the reopening of the jetty after a decade and a half has significant economic benefits. Patricia Nicholson explains.
Truckers no longer need to journey 10 kilometers to transport material from the Studley Park quarry to the Scarborough port in preparation for shipment to Trinidad. Now it's a 1-kilometer drive to the Barbados Bay Jetty, where the material is placed on a barge for the sister isle.
And it seems like Cranium is getting a bit of a backlash from his claim that he opened doors for this generation internationally. Now Dovey Magnum, Madam Ballard herself, came to his defense saying that indeed he has created history in that department. Cranium posted the following on social media. He said, "Don't get it twisted. I literally kicked down the doors for all of you artists overseas doing dancehall music for this generation, locally and internationally."
The St. Lucia government is facing criticism for its rush to abolish corporal punishment. The National Principals Association, the NPA, and the St. Lucia Teachers Union, that's SLTU, are questioning the decision to suspend corporal punishment from May this year before implementing a complete ban by May 1st next year. At a press conference yesterday, NPA President Pauline Antoine Prosper said they were not consulted on the move.
I am still wondering why the rush, and I think what really triggered this press conference is the fact that at our annual principals conference that was held on the 28th of February and the 1st of March, the minister indicated that there was consultation with both the St. Lucia Teachers Union and the National Principals Association regarding the abolition of corporal punishment. And as I said previously, this consultation has not taken place.
And SLTU President Julian Monrose acknowledged the right of the Education Ministry to scrap the practice that has been part of the school system from its inception. But he says they need to propose alternative methods to deal with indiscipline in schools.
We've joined one method of punishment. You would want to give the teachers skills, training in alternative forms of punishment, because clearly bad behavior is a serious problem in our schools. And so teachers need to be given the necessary training in the alternative forms of punishment if you're going to be employed.
In other news now, Guyana's President David Granger has invited the chairman and commissioners of the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, to a meeting tomorrow morning. Now, the president's invitation to Justice James Patterson and the commissioners was swiftly dispatched following a meeting yesterday between himself and opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo. At the meeting, Jagdeo refused to discuss any issues unless the president makes a definitive proposal on a date for elections that is close to the constitutional deadline. But Granger is adamant that only GECOM can advise when elections can be held. The invitation to GECOM was sent by Minister of State Joseph Harmon. President Granger says he wants to consult on the readiness of GECOM for the conduct of general and regional elections. Trinidad and Tobago's National Security Minister Stuart Young says the Twin Island Republic's just-ended carnival was safest in recent years. As we hear in this report from CNC3's Janelle Bernard, he said at a press conference yesterday that major crime during the celebrations hit a record low.
Carnival 2019, from a national security point of view, was the safest, if we use the statistics as our measurement, in many years.
The National Security Minister is boasting of a relatively safe carnival despite a few violent incidents.
The serious reported crimes for carnival period this year, 2019, fell to a record 12.
And though this year's carnival is being hailed as a success in terms of national security, the police commissioner says he is mindful of the challenges when it comes to the murder rate. He says there has been a 16% reduction, but he admits that more needs to be done.
It is very far from where we want to go, but as I mentioned, this is not to be seen or stated as a success, but just that we are going in the right direction.
But for now, the commissioner is commending the work of his officers, who he says heeded his call to show up for duty on Carnival Monday and Tuesday.
This has been the highest attendance of officers in the police service in years for Carnival Monday and Tuesday. On Monday, we gave the 95% attendance. I think it is now about 97 to 98%.
And stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next. Incumbent Cricket West Indies President Dave Cameron and his administration have lost their focus in the last 6 years. That's the view of Cameron's challenger, Ricky Skerritt, who says the current board is embroiled in a number of issues with stakeholders of the game while the key players suffer. Now, speaking at an online media conference from Jamaica, the presidential hopeful insisted that the focus must be on the future of the game.
Things that jumps out is the fact that Cricket West Indies is fighting too many battles with too many stakeholders. The only battles we should be fighting of any sort of contention should be on the field of play. The grassroots cricket, the development requirements, the coaching development, the high performance system, all of the key ingredients that are necessary, that are essential for building what I would call a sustainable approach to cricket development so that we are producing over the next several years and into the foreseeable future all of the future young players and all of the future young West Indians who love cricket and who are proud of cricket, whether they have become stars or not. Unfortunately, Cricket West Indies has lost its focus on cricket.
Now, staying with the game, left-arm seamer Obed McCoy has been called up for the remaining 2 matches in the T20 series against England. The 22-year-old has made 2 appearances for West Indies, both on the one-day tour of India last year, but has never turned out in a T20 international. He has taken 4 wickets. Now, McCoy featured in 2 first-class matches for Windward Islands Volcanoes this season, but with little success managing a solitary wicket. West Indies lost the opening T20 by 4 wickets on Tuesday in St. Lucia and will look to level the series when they take on England in the second match at Warner Park in St. Kitts tomorrow. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.